Good morning, everyone. It is, as you can see, I am not outside. I was going to take a morning walk. Most of my congestion is gone. My voice is mostly back. I'm feeling good. I have beaten the winter cold that I had. It was not the coof. It was not the flu. It was just a really bad head cold, and it laid me out for quite some time during my Christmas vacation, sad to say. But it is ridiculously bright and ridiculously cold. As you can see, the frost is still thickly caked on my car. And it's just so windy and so cold, I couldn't make it much further than my driveway. So I decided to just sit in the car and do a morning walk video. Because, man, it's cold. There's like a 15-mile-an-hour wind out there. It was already below freezing. And I'm just not going to walk a few miles in this today. I'm sorry. I wanted to go out and make a morning walk, but it ain't happening. So, man, it's so bright. Let me see if I can... Okay, that helps some. Let's see. There we go. Uh-oh, I have a little owie, a little zit or something on my chin. I don't usually get face blemishes. It's probably because I had a cold for a week and was nasty and laid up in bed and didn't want to move. Anyway, I wanted to talk about something today that is kind of meaningful and serious, and I was going to try to brave the cold and talk about it, but no. Last night in the Cabal, Plasma Rob and Ginger and several others, they had a long, meaningful conversation. They have what Plasma Rob calls the Cabal Sunday School every Sunday. It's not specifically just Christian Bible study. It's talking about important life lessons, Bible stuff, spiritual stuff, just meaningful, good conversation among mature friends. It's a really interesting time, and I'll probably visit it more. But yesterday, we were talking about battling depression and battling the malaise and the darkness of life, and that's a very important topic. One of the things that I've mentioned before on my channel a lot is there has never been a time in history more easy to be black-pilled and miserable than right now. Because think about it. In the before time, for thousands of years, you only knew what was around you. You might hear rumors of farmsteads or townships, over the hills or, maybe 50 or 100 miles away. But the problems you had to deal with every day of your life were local problems, family problems, farm problems, local governor problems, things that would affect you and only you, the weather, whether or not the harvest was going to be good, things like that. And in the modern era, especially since smartphones, but the internet in general, it has made it not just a profitable enterprise, but a daily habit of people looking out into the world for the most awful, depressing things going on every minute of every day. That's not healthy. It doesn't matter who you are or what you want out of life. I don't care if you're a man or a woman or you're young or you're old. You shouldn't be spending hardly any, if any, of your time at all going on the internet to find out what miserable, awful things are happening around the world outside of where you live. Those things are bad for us. It's why me as a content creator, this job is hard for me because every week I have to sort through an entire trough of the worst pig vomit that this awful, subversive, evil world has to dump into this trough. And I have to sift through it every week to make entertainment out of it and to find out what's going on with our corrupt government and all these corrupt organizations. I gotta sift through that nasty trough of pig food to try to find a diamond in the rough that I can make a joke out of. And also, I want to know just exactly what my evil, corrupt government's up to and what's going on in the world. Now, I don't think that's a very healthy thing to do with my time. It's not. It takes its toll on me. My husband helps me with that. My close personal friends help me deal with that. Most people should not deal with that shit. It's ugly, it's nasty, especially because the way that news media has become just this churning cycle of showing you awful things, of violence and race struggles and sex struggles and human trafficking, and then they try to propagandize you by telling you it's a mix of your fault and your race's fault and your religion's fault and your people's history's fault. It's just trying to keep up with the news now in the 2020s is like an assault on your well-being. And so you probably should avoid that. And what is the real wisdom? What is the real takeaway of my talk today? Do not look at regular news. Just stop. Just stop. I don't care if you're a Sunday school teacher and you're a mother of 3. I don't care if you're a young man that has no family yet, you're 22 and, working on some kind of technical degree or something. You need to just avoid regular news. MSNBC, Fox News, Tim Pool, Joe Rogan, like those things, they're just going to feed you stuff that are going to try to get you worked up. Maybe not so much Joe Rogan. He doesn't do a lot of that. But my point is, mainstream podcasts that are nothing but political crap, like all the Daily Wire stuff, all the Ben Shapiro stuff, PragerU, Tim Pool, Tenet Media, like these people have made a business off of telling you how screwed up and how evil everything is. And people pay them money for that. So you know what? They're going to keep doing it. They're going to keep telling you every day that you tune in, they're going to tell you just how awful everything is, just how hopeless and dangerous and evil the left or Satanists or global communism or whatever. They're going to tell you just how evil and fucked everything is every day because they've made a career out of doing that. They're going to tell you that negative, evil, awful, heart-wrenching shit every minute that you tune into them because that's how they've learned to make a dollar. So just don't do that either. If you want to know what's going on in the world, the best thing that you can do, from my experience, is talk to people that seem to be well-grounded in knowing what's going on in the political zeitgeist and with international news. Follow channels or small groups in like Discord or Telegram that talk about global stuff and international news. People like Semiagog, the Prudentialist, they like to have even-keeled, intelligent conversation about what's going on and make some minor speculations about it based upon what we currently know and based on the past. They're not there to be doom merchants and sell you doom every day. They're not there to propagandize you. And when you find these diamonds in the rough to follow, it can, if you care about trying to keep up with what's going on in the world stage or at an international level, you can get it in a much less depressing way. So, but again, I don't even think that a regular person needs to care about this stuff because all this international war stuff you can't know about. It's going to be mostly lies and misdirection anyway because of how warring states do. And then number 2, trying to keep up with the news, it's mostly all lies anyway. And like, I know this from being a news junkie for the last 7 years. Almost every story, almost everything about Trump or Obama or a war or a big banking fiasco or my race this or my sex that, all of this stuff that is in the news cycle, it's almost always heavily fake or just a straight up lie to begin with. Everything. Whether it's Paul Pelosi getting attacked and having to read into who that guy really was, whether it's the Las Vegas shooter and finding out it was some weird glow up or some shit, like almost everything important in the news is only a partial truth or an out and out lie. And if you don't follow that story week after week, month after month, and make your own notes of what to look into and to double check, you're only going to remember lies and falsehoods anyway. That's one of the reasons I feel so crazy all the time. Is my mind, I gotta take these off. My mind is full of years and years of media narrative and media lies and anti-whiteism and racial attack and sex attack against men and all this racial flip-flopping of who should bear the racial guilt onus and all this shit. Like, that's unhealthy for my mind. I'm a worse person for having kept up with all this stuff and cared about it all these years. Don't be like me. I'm telling you. It will make you a worse person. It will make you a less grounded, less sane, less happy person. And for the last 2 years, I've been trying to move away from all that. And I'm a healthier person for it. So that's one of the things I shared in the group discussion last night in the Cabal at Rob's Cabal Sunday School, is I told them something similar to the following. I have learned that the only thing that you should really focus on is how and what can you do and how can you be each day, one day at a time, to be a positive, healthier version of you that will benefit in positive, healthy ways the few people you're connected to in your personal life. That's what I focus on every day. I have to do that news thing, but I try to compartmentalize and keep it away from me. I do my best to never think about it unless I'm planning for work. I think about my family. I think about myself, how I can eat healthier, how I can create a healthier lifestyle for me and my husband and his father and my mother and her sick husband and my few cousins and friends that are in my life. I think about how I can cultivate a healthier, more connected lifestyle that will be good for me and the few people in my life. And what can I do to build healthy community around those people that can carry forward positivity and the good things about my life and the good things about their lives and share those with others, our nieces and nephews, the new people that may come into our little family life, the people that might buy a home and we might know here in my little local Appalachian Shire. Those are the things you should be concerned with. Let all this geopolitical stuff go. Stop caring about BLM this and anti-white narrative that on a big scale. Only care about that stuff in your personal daily life and what's in front of you each day. Build a good life for you, your husband, your wife, your children, your family, your coworkers. This is how you can defeat negativity and depression. Create a real life. And what do I mean by that? So many of us, myself included, much of our social identity is going to be with people on the internet in non-real spaces. Now, I know that real people have real friendships via the internet. I do it all the time. But there's something lacking when they're not someone that you see, smell, and touch every day or regularly in your personal life. People that you don't physically have tangible in front of you that you build with, it's not as real in here. It's not as real in your heart. And you have to sort of pull back on the stick with the internet communication. Now, I know a lot of you might be lonely, and you might not have people in your personal life. You need to strive to build that or move to somewhere where you can have that. We need real flesh and blood people in our lives. Husband, wife, friend, best friend, co-workers, gun club, playing tabletop games with buddies. We all need that stuff. We need it. It's not a luxury. We have to have it. We are communal, tribal creatures. We love family and community and seeing and smelling and touching other creatures like us and building stuff like that together. And so, in that vein, our minds and emotions they either are this way if you believe God made us this way, or if we evolved this way, whatever you believe. The fact of the matter is this is how we are. We need to be smaller minded, to be content, to be productive, to be healthy. It is unhealthy for us to care about thousands or millions of people that we don't have any connection to and be cranked and worried about that all the time. That will take precedent over you worrying about your own mother, over you worrying about your own dog, if you let it. So don't let it. Push all of that stuff away. Focus on you. How can you make yourself healthier every day? How can you eat better? How can you exercise better? How can you have better mental practices? What material, whether it be a Bible or the Go Free book or thousands of other books that will teach you what you need to know about living a healthier, better-minded lifestyle? What can you do each day to reach others in your private life, to build something better with them? Take a walk with a friend. Help somebody with their maybe they got a problem with one of their kids. Maybe you're young and in school, and you really want to have friends. You got to find them. You have to create your own culture, your own community, because our country, the fabric of what gave us a national ethnic identity, has been destroyed for generations. We do not have any natural or innate larger identity to grasp onto anymore. We are a deracinated, broken people. We have to recreate that. And it starts small. It starts with thousands and thousands of us all across America caring about building real community, real families, real social clubs like the Old Glory Club. You need to build something like that. Be connected to people in your personal life that you can talk to and build with and take walks with or play racquetball with or go to the golf course with or throw a football with outside. Things like that. That is how you fight the depression and the misery of today. You have to change you. You have to be interfaced with real people in your life and care about them over everything else. Care about you and your family and the people around you and the positive community you can build and the things you can do to improve your local community, your church, your job, your school, your family, your street, your block. That is what we should all focus on. Those are things that will give us meaning and purpose and lead us to be connected to other people of similar mind and build a real fabric of identity, a real ethnicity, a real racial identity. It starts small with us. And maybe one day we will have powerful elite men notice that and weave that together into a bigger tapestry one day. But most of us are never going to have that kind of power and influence. So we have to care about the small. And the more thousands or millions of us that do that, the better chance we have at a real strong identity and a healthier national or racial identity together in the future. So that's my message for today. I am very passionate about this subject. It is something I have personally struggled with, and I have made steps to make my life better and myself healthier the last couple of years. And I want all of you to be that way too. So I'm going to wrap it up here. My nose really itches. I don't know why, but I might still be a little sick. Anyway, there will definitely be an Empire of Lies this Thursday unless something else comes up, which I doubt. So I hope to see you guys in a couple of nights for more Empire of Lies with my friend Newsfist. Chris and I will have more for you Thursday night. Have a great week, everybody. Take care of yourself. Be positive. And God bless.